We were the couple everyone envied. High school sweethearts, married for 12 years with 2 beautiful kids. We had built a life together, brick by brick, based on what I thought was an unbreakable foundation of love and trust. People would tell us we were couple goals, and honestly, I believed it too. We had our ups and downs like any couple, but we always talked things through. We were a team, or so I thought. The first crack in that foundation appeared so subtly, I almost missed it. It started with her phone. Sarah, who had always been an open book, suddenly had a password on her phone. When I asked her about it, she just laughed it off, saying it was for work security. It sounded plausible, so I let it go. But then the late nights at the office started. Big project, she'd say, looking tired. I wanted to be the supportive husband, so I'd have dinner waiting for her, run the kids' baths, and handle bedtime stories myself. I told myself I was just picking up the slack, being a good partner. Then came the texts. Her phone would buzz at odd hours, and she'd snatch it up with a speed I'd never seen before. She started taking it with her everywhere, even into the bathroom. A knot of unease began to tighten in my stomach, but I pushed it down. This was Sarah, my Sarah, the girl I'd shared my first everything with. I trusted her. Doubting her felt like a betrayal in itself. One Saturday, she said she was going out for a girls' night. I was happy for her. She deserved a break. I kissed her goodbye, told her to have fun, and settled in for a movie night with the kids. Around midnight, after they were asleep, I got a strange text from a number I didn't recognize. It was just a picture of a bar downtown, and in the corner, clear as day, was Sarah. She wasn't with her girlfriends. She was with a man, her head on his shoulder, laughing at something he'd said. Her hand was resting on his. My world stopped. I stared at that picture for what felt like an eternity. My heart was pounding in my ears, and a cold dread washed over me. It couldn't be. There had to be an explanation. Maybe he was just a friend, a colleague. My mind raced, trying to find a logical, innocent reason for what I was seeing. I tried calling her, but it went straight to voicemail. I texted her, "Where are you?" No reply. She came home around 3 a.m., tiptoeing in, thinking I was asleep. I was waiting for her in the living room, the lights off. When I turned on the lamp, she jumped, startled. "You're still up?" she asked, her voice a little shaky. I just held up my phone, showing her the picture. The color drained from her face. In that moment, without a single word being spoken, I knew. The years of trust, the shared memories, the life we had built, it all shattered. "Who is he?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She couldn't look me in the eye. The silence stretched on, thick and suffocating. Finally, she broke down, sobbing. The story came out in broken pieces. He was a coworker. Started with lunches, then drinks after work. It had been going on for 6 months. 6 months. For half a year, my life, our life, had been a lie. Every late night at the office, every secretive text, it all clicked into place, forming a picture of deceit that was uglier than I could have ever imagined. She kept saying she was sorry, that it was a mistake, that it meant nothing. But how could it mean nothing? It meant the end of everything we were. How could I ever look at her the same way again? How could I ever trust a single word she said? The woman I had promised to love and cherish, the mother of my children, had looked me in the eye and lied to me every single day for 6 months. The days that followed were a blur of pain and confusion. We were living in the same house, but we were strangers. The air was heavy with unspoken words and broken promises. I looked at our wedding photos on the wall, and all I could see was a lie. I watched her with our kids, and I felt a rage so intense it scared me. How could she risk this? How could she risk our family for a cheap thrill? We tried counseling. We sat in a sterile office, while a stranger tried to help us piece back together something that was fundamentally broken. She said she would do anything to earn back my trust. But trust isn't something you can just decide to have. It's built over time, through thousands of small, honest moments. And it was destroyed in one single act of betrayal. I wanted to forgive her, for the kids, for the history we shared, for the part of me that still loved the woman I thought she was. I really tried. But every time she came home late, a sliver of doubt would creep in. Every time her phone buzzed, my stomach would clench. The ghost of her affair haunted our home, a constant reminder of my broken heart. I was living in a state of perpetual anxiety, checking her location, questioning her every move. This wasn't a marriage. It was a prison of my own making, built from the rubble of her lies. The hardest part was the loneliness. I was surrounded by my family, but I had never felt more alone. I couldn't talk to my friends or family about it. How could I have been so blind? How could I have not known the person I slept next to every night was living a double life? Eventually, I realized that staying together wasn't saving our family, it was poisoning it. The kids could feel the tension. Our home, once filled with laughter, was now filled with a heavy silence. Forgiving her wasn't about forgetting what she did. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. Forgiveness for me had to be about letting go of the anger and pain so that I could move on, and I realized I couldn't move on with her. The decision to separate was the hardest one I've ever had to make. It was admitting that our story, the one I thought would last forever, was over. It meant breaking up our family, the very thing I had tried so hard to protect. Telling the kids was agonizing. Seeing their confusion and sadness broke my heart into a million more pieces. It's been over a year now. It's been on my own, co-parenting our children. The journey has been incredibly difficult. There are days when the pain feels as fresh as it did that first night. There are days I feel overwhelmed by anger and regret. But there are also good days. Days when I see my kids laughing, and I know I made the right choice for them, to show them what a healthy, respectful relationship should look like, even if it means their parents aren't together. I've learned that trust, once broken, can sometimes never be fully repaired. It's like a shattered vase. You can glue the pieces back together, but the cracks will always be visible. Some wounds are too deep to heal, and some betrayals change you forever. I'm not the same man I was before. More cautious, more guarded, but I'm also stronger. I survived the storm, learning to trust myself again. And slowly, I'm building a new life, one honest piece at a time. The pain is a part of my story now, but I won't let it be the whole story. The future is uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, it feels like my own. If you're going through something similar, know that you're not alone. The pain can feel unbearable, but it's important to talk to someone, a friend, a family member, or a professional therapist. You don't have to carry this burden by yourself. Healing is a long road, but it is possible. Thank you for listening to my story. Please subscribe for more content on navigating life's toughest challenges.